Okay, so this is Strummed Acoustic 2 in Reaper. What's interesting to us over in the PG Music Forum is that the chord sequence is coming out of Band in a Box here. So I'm going to show you how I get it out of there, how I get it over here, how I have to manipulate it here in order to have it play as a track in Reaper. So we'll look first into Band in a Box. Uh, Typical chord chart in Band in a Box, any song you want. We're going to have to export out the chord diagram. So let's go to Options, Preferences, Output Chords. Key thing you have to know here is make sure that's checked. I use channel 5. It's the melody channel, I believe. When I've used 9, the drums tend to bleed on through. This one works fine for me. Make sure that's set at 0. The default is something different than 0. It needs to be at 0 for my purposes. Okay. So we'll play this song just a little bit just to make sure the chords are going. We'll stop that, and now we want to, those chords have now been saved for us. We just have to get them. So we go into mid here, and we first go to options. It's important that you make sure you don't have all these things checked. Anything you have checked here will be writing into the MIDI channels here. So for simplest purposes, I uncheck everything. I've left that. Don't know why. It seems to work. So with that, we go back, and now we save the file on disk. That's going to be the name of it. It's going to go onto my desktop. Save. It's already there. I'll say yes. And with that, we're done with Band in a Box. And now the MIDI file is waiting for us. It's sitting on our desktop right here. Let me see if I can show you that. There it is over there. So if we go into Band in a Box now, first let's pull this down so we can see it. Now I've already set up Band in a Box with Contact 5. So I'm going to take this file, this MIDI file, I'm going to bring it over and bring it into Band in a Box. And there it is right down there at the bottom. Now when I do that, right off it says there's 8 tracks of MIDI coming. Do you want to bring them all? For my workflow, I say yes. They've all come. And here are the 8 new ones. Let me just show you. Nothing on any of them, except down to the bottom. There's one that's called Band in a Box Chord Output. That's the only track. Now, if you would have had MIDI on some of those other tracks, you'd be seeing that here, but I had no MIDI on any of the other tracks. So all you get is one track down here at the bottom. It's just the way we want it. And now what I do is I take that track and I pull it and put it right overlay with this one. Now, when you get it there, you're going to find out that all this MIDI is on channel 5. So you've got to make sure that when we go over to the Contact app here, we've got to say all the MIDI's on channel 5. And we're going to play back to ST1. Not sure what ST means, stereo track 1 or something. That's the way it needs to be set up. Now, Contact was already set up with that, but I had to tell it that all the Band in a Box audio, MIDI is on track 5. Now, the other thing you got to realize is that all that MIDI is playing like around in this C2 to C3 area. And we can take a look at that right here in Reaper to see where all that MIDI is. Let's go down onto this track here, and we'll see the MIDI is all way too low. So I've got to select all, I've got to transpose up 12, then I've got to transpose up 12 again in order to get that MIDI where I have it up here. Now double click here, and you see the MIDI is all sitting around. Oops, bear with me. C5, C6. As we output that, it's going to be playing in this portion of the keyboard then, and everything's going to be fine then. And then we just hit play, and you can see it's playing the chords right here then. So I hope that helps you, and hope it works for me to remember. There's about 10 things that can go wrong when you do this. I've shown you 1 or 2 of them. The other 7 or 8 you're going to have to figure out on your own. So good luck.